I like your tattoos. What are those numbers on your arm?
Oh, that's the date my dad died. He was a fireman. Died in a fire 17 years ago.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Don't be. It's fine.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Not your dad.
O Rei de Staten Island é o filme da semana na Comercial e marca a estreia de Pete Davidson como protagonista de um filme e logo em registro semi-biográfico, como nos conta o realizador Judd Apatow numa entrevista exclusiva para a rádio portuguesa via Zoom. How did you and Pete Davidson get together for this movie?
We met many years ago in 2014 when he was doing a cameo in Trainwreck. It was a little small part, but he was so funny that Bill Hader recommended him to Saturday Night Live. And then he got cast on that show. And then afterwards, we started talking about making a movie together one day. And after a couple of stops and starts on other ideas, one day he said he wanted to make a movie about, wanting to see his mom date again. And that was the beginning of this project.
I've been dating someone for a little while now.
The first guy you date in 17 years is a fireman, just like that? You don't think that's weird? I gotta tell my mom you tried to drown me.
To the above ground pool, you're like fucking 8 feet tall.
How did you approach it knowing about the biographical element of it? Was it easier or was it more difficult?
I think that it was helpful that he was so honest about his experience. I approached it like a journalist to start. I interviewed him for weeks and weeks about his life story. And then basically we realized that what we wanted to do was do a story about what would have happened to Pete if he didn't find comedy. In real life, he's very driven. He did stand-up starting at 16. He was on Saturday Night Live by the time he was 20. He isn't a slacker sitting around smoking pot doing nothing. He's actually quite the opposite. So this movie is an imagining of him, floundering because he's not pursuing any goal. And once we came up with that approach, it became easier to be emotionally truthful about all of his feelings and to have this fictional story.
You ever think about putting on the jacket?
Why would you even ask me that?
What's wrong with being a fireman?
It's fine if you don't have kids, because you don't know if you're going to come home or not, and then your kids are fucked up.
Do you think this story about this guy from Staten Island will resonate with the referred millennials from all over?
I think so, because a lot of the movie is about anxiety and depression and grief. And I think, young people are very stressed out. A lot of kids have more mental health issues. I think as a result of social media and the internet and all the ways they compare themselves to other people, and they're just being programmed in a different way. And I think it really stresses them out in a way that I didn't feel as a kid. And I didn't feel that great as a kid. I can't imagine if I really knew how everyone else was doing, how depressed I would have been. I only saw, the kids at school, and they seemed, I was mad they were on the football team, and I was at home watching talk shows. So I think that young people relate to it for sure.
And let me tell you something, your dad was a hero, and heroes are necessary, and they should be allowed to have families.
The movie is already out in the US on video on demand. In Portugal, it will premiere hopefully on a movie screen by August. How do you see the future of movies?
I think when it's safe to go to the movies, people will run back to the movies. It's a communal experience that we all love. There's certainly a pause here in the United States as everyone figures out how to make the theater safe, how to make shooting safe. But I'm a big believer that as soon as people are given the green light, that they're going to want to go.